Welcome to another episode of Classic Conversations. I am Izzy. I know it's been a while since I did one of these, but today I have the first ever two-time guest in the history of Classic Conversations. He is a musical artist, a just an all-around good dude, man. A DJ. He pretty much does it all, man. Yeah, man. So I'm here
Thank you.
back again with the Primetime Nino, man. What's going on?
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you for having me on. Excited for this conversation with you. It's always a fun time coming on here and talking with you, bro.
Absolutely, absolutely. Likewise, my man. So let's start off with the brand new single that's out, the intro,
Yes.
aka Alto. Man, just tell us all about that.
Yes. Yeah, man. This is the first song that we just dropped off of our upcoming album, Libertad. It's coming very soon. We're looking for the end of the month, hopefully. So everybody just stay tuned. Everybody stay on alert. Keep following me on Instagram so you can get all your updates and all the visuals that's going to be coming with the album. Just super excited, man. I wanted to do something different this time around with my music. I wanted to venture off into bilingual music and show my Latin roots a little bit more with my artistry this time around. I'm more known for, reggae and Afro beats and hip hop and trap, but I wanted to dive into a whole new world, reach a whole new audience, and see if we can touch people around the world.
Oh man, yo, no, that's dope, man. And I heard I got an opportunity to hear the first single, and it's very dope, man. Just like all your music is. Um,
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, man, no. So you just actually touched a little bit on my next question, which was how would you say your musical style has changed from like the first few songs that you did back in 2018 to now?
So my music has changed so much because I started out making very poppy type records, maybe more radio destined music. And as I got deeper into making music, I just wanted to try new things, and I wanted to rap more, and then I wanted to sing more, and then I wanted to sing in Spanish and rap in Spanish, and I think it's like an ever evolving challenge when you're in music and trying to keep yourself fresh and new and give yourself new challenges instead of staying stagnant and going, what you know is going to work with your audience. Let's try to, instead
Okay.
of just appeasing this one audience, let's try to reach new people and people who haven't heard this sound or might not come across that sound if they weren't interested in it. So it's definitely transcended my catalog, and this next project will definitely show you guys a whole new side of what we got going on.
So what would you say is was the most difficult part of making this album?
The most difficult part about making the album, I think, has been more so just accepting patience and being able to understand that I can't spend the amount of time making this music as I did before or as frequent, you know what I mean? I have kids now, I have a
Right.
family at home. So, my workload is a little bit different now. My time availability is a little bit different. So and also with making an album, it's not just making the music, there's so much more that goes into it. There's the production, there's the mixing of it, the mastering of it, and then there's actually so much more after the music is actually done because now you have to prepare, the graphics for it. You got to make sure the packaging looks right. You have to make sure that the promotion campaign is on point, the videos and everything that comes with it. And there's so much of that that requires time that you have to really be patient. When you can't get something done when you want it, you have to be patient. It's being able to be open to God's timing and not your timing. So I think that's what probably was the most difficult part about making this album is I'm so used to, cranking it out, getting it done, putting it out. And this took a long time to really put together and do it properly.
Awesome. Yeah, no, I definitely understand there, man. There's so much there's so much more than just the music that goes into making music. It's more than just the music, if that makes any sense. But yeah, so
Absolutely.
would what do you call it? My next question is, would you would you say that this is like your best work that you've ever come out with, like up until now?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not like most artists that will sit here and say, every time they come up with a new project that this is their best stuff, this is their best work. Because I really honestly enjoy my old work. I
Right.
think my old work stands up, and I like to listen back to. I mean, obviously, I feel like I've grown. I don't think it's the same artist anymore. Um, this is this body of work is probably absolutely gonna be the best that I've put out so far. But what I'm really excited about is how much better it's made me, and the music that's gonna come after it is exciting for me because, like I said, I'm opening myself up to a whole new genre of music, a whole new audience, and that challenge within itself becomes more fun for me than anything else. So, yeah, it will be my best body of work up to date, but like I said, I definitely have some more in the bag after that's gonna be even better. So it's gonna keep going up from here.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. So when you collaborate with other artists, right?
Mhm.
Do you find that to be like a really fun challenge, or do you find it to be annoying sometimes, or how do you perceive it?
It's a bit of both. Um, it's a bit of both, but I've learned to become a lot more selective and picky about who I work with, and I limit myself to the amount of people that I collaborate with, um, only because I want the collaboration to mean something. I want the collaboration to be challenging. I want it to be um, something that will be beneficial for both me and the collaborative artist. It is a little it's a fun challenge today because I mostly collaborate with artists who are speaking in English. So it's a really cool challenge to do that, to collaborate with somebody who's speaking in English when I'm speaking in Spanish, because we both know those are two different worlds, and they tend to clash here and there because we are living in the melting pot that is the United States. But to really indulge people in two different cultures and blend them is like one of my favorite things to do. So it's a big part of my artistry, and so that's what makes the collaborative effort so cool and fun to do. And but like I said, I'm picky about it and selective of who I work with and stuff like that. It has to mean something. It has to have some meaning behind it, substance.
Nice. Yeah, definitely. I definitely agree with that. Um, is
Mhm.
there anybody that you have yet to work with that you want to work with?
So many artists. I mean, obviously the first one that comes to mind is Bad Bunny. I definitely want to do a song with Bad Bunny one day. Um, that's the guy that really got me to start wanting to do this type of music. He kind of like let me know that it's okay to, it's almost like I've listened to Spanish music my whole life. I'm Dominican, so I grew up in a very Dominican household. So bachata, merengue, salsa, perico ripiao, all of these genres are very, reggaeton are very common genres of music that I used to listen to, but I didn't really honestly appreciate it or accept it and want to listen to more of it until I got to like really sit down and see this Bad Bunny dude and see how his career manifested itself into this huge phenomenon that Americans today have never seen anything like it. I mean, we could say we've seen Daddy Yankee, you could say you've seen, Ricky Martin or Elvis Crespo or Mark Anthony, but like Bad Bunny is this new thing that it's a craze. You know what I mean? Like when he does a show in Puerto Rico, it's like the country of Puerto Rico comes out. and that is something that I've taken into like my dream board of what I want to do with the Dominican Republic and what I want to do with Latin music. So Bad Bunny, definitely. I have a lot of artists that I would absolutely love to work with. If I ever get the chance to work with Childish Gambino, I'd love that. Um, dang. There's a couple of people, but like I said, I'm so selective about the collaborations that I think like Gambino, Bad Bunny, my wife
Right.
are the top three.
Yeah,
Top
no.
three for me.
Yeah, man. Wait, you said your wife. Is she also a musical? Does she also do music, or you worked with her before?
People don't know this, but yes, my wife is a singer and she is incredible at what she does. She's always been a part of my live shows. If people have ever seen me live, she sings up on stage with me, and her voice is just so beautiful and so powerful, and really needs to be heard in this world. So I'm gonna make it a mission of mine this year to push her to make some music for the world to hear. So who knows? You might see something very soon um, from her. I would love that. She is a singer. But she's also so multi-talented. She's an incredible hairstylist, an incredible mother. She does so many things. She sells hair. She does hair. Shit, you would think she makes it. You know, she's just incredible, and she's my stylist, my ghostwriter, all of it. She takes care of so much.
Absolutely beautiful, man. I'm looking forward to it. So,
Absolutely.
what do you call it? So is there okay, so when you're like what's your writing process? Like do you have like a specific do you write to instrumentals or do you or what's that like? What's your writing process like?
The writing process changes every time I do something. So, um, yeah, I try out different techniques when I write songs. Sometimes I do write to instrumentals, mostly like writing exercises to get my pen just kind of going and to get my mind working and keep it um, keep it fluid, just like not losing that spark of writing. So like yeah, sometimes we'll just pick an instrumental and write to it, go from hook to verse and piece it together however we want. Sometimes the writing process is actually blended with the production process of it. Um, Sometimes we are writing the song as the beat's being made in front of us. And yeah, it changes every project, but you gotta like try different stuff out to see what works for you. I think I'm still, even though I've done music for so long, I think I'm still figuring out what works and what doesn't for me. I'm still trying to be open to learning new things and um, being vulnerable to that. So yeah, I don't want to say that I have a set writing process. I think it always just changes. Sometimes I'll be in the car with my wife and she'll hear something and blurt out a melody or blurt out some cool line that was in her head, and I'll just write it down and then play off of it probably somewhere down the line later. Um, it's weird because being a father, a parent, like your inspiration has to come from all these weird and different places because you're not in your typical, you're not in the club no more. You're not, you know what I'm saying? You're not doing your regular
Right.
lifestyle that a rapper would anymore. So you have to find your inspiration for what you write in all these different weird places. And I think that's the coolest, challenging part.
Absolutely. So have you ever written like a verse or a hook and you said and you thought it was cool at the time when you wrote it, but then you were like, "Oh man, this isn't gonna fit here," or this doesn't
Oh
work.
man, I would absolutely love to tell you that I've never written a verse that I wanted to throw out, but I cannot say that. I have written I've written whole songs. I've written, recorded them, and I thought they were the bee's knees when they were in my head. But when I played them out loud, and I don't know, I think you just have to there's a spark that happens when you hear a song. that tells you, okay, this is it. This is gonna work. This is a hot one. This will keep them dancing. And sometimes you swing and you miss, and sometimes it's not as cool as you thought it was, or music is so intricate and weird. You can do so many different things, so many different instruments that you can use to make weird sounds, and you think those weird sounds are gonna sound cool until you hear them, and then it's like, that's not what I thought it was gonna be. So yeah, I definitely have thrown plenty of songs. There's definitely I'm sure there's like a folder in my hard drive of songs that I'll never let the world listen to. Maybe somebody will hack into my hard drive when I die, and y'all can hear the trash that I made when I was alive.
Yeah, I know. You put out stuff posthumously, and you'll still be making bank off of it.
Still make bank off of it. I'll have to write it in my will for somebody to get to that hard drive and make sure that stuff gets released.
Oh my goodness. All right, nah. But okay, so
Yeah.
I know you love professional wrestling. So um if there was any professional wrestler that you could write a song for, who would be your like dream wrestler that you could write, if you could write their theme song, who would it be?
Ooh, that is probably the most exciting. So I've done interviews all day today. This was this is the best question I've gotten all day. Probably my favorite because I'm such a mark, but this is the question right here. So, oh, okay. So your question is if there was any wrestler that I could write a theme song for, right?
Yeah,
Who would it be?
yeah.
Mm,
So
shit, man.
some wrestler came to you and said, "Hey, I need a new theme song."
Yeah.
And yeah, who would it be? Like,
Damn. There's like three of them that are in my head.
go.
Oh, is it Dead or Alive?
It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Go. Just yeah.
Eddie Guerrero.
Oh
Eddie
man, yeah.
Guerrero.
That
All
would be
day.
dope. That would be dope.
All day. I'm glad I asked for that stipulation. Thank you, wife, because I definitely was thinking of who's alive, and no, Eddie would have been dope, man, because Eddie was he was the first wrestler that to mind, when I was watching that like made you feel, oh, this guy is not from here. You know what I mean? He's as Spanish as it gets because you have like Latino wrestlers, but they don't really get the mic much. They don't really get to talk in segments. You know what I mean? Rey
Yeah.
Mysterio didn't talk much going up. So, in that time frame, like Eddie was the first one that they like gave the mic to, and he had the accent, he had the machismo, he had like everything. He was my favorite of all time, and his theme songs were always fire, especially the
Right.
last
Yeah.
theme song he had,
Yeah.
the one
Right.
with the
Oh
cell
my
phone
god.
ringing.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
it's so underrated. People talk about the original Lie Cheat Steal song, which is also fire, but like when they
No. Hey.
remixed Lie Cheat Steal, dog, they were in their bag. I would love to do Eddie Guerrero's theme song. That would be the one for sure.
And somebody who is currently wrestling, or a lot. Yeah.
Ooh, somebody who's currently wrestling. Shit. Hmm. Dominic Mysterio.
That's
Dominic Mysterio.
that's gonna be an answer that people are not expecting. That's actually
I would love to do his theme song. I think he needs that. I think that's like the last piece that's missing from Dom is a cool, really, really like dope theme song because
right.
you have this character that's like so unbelievable and so like, what is this? That it's almost comical at this point. So a cool theme song. I mean, you see what they've done with Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
Sami Zayn's also a very comedic type, you know what I mean, character that has turned into this insanely over character. You look back at Kofi, you know what I mean? He went from twerking to winning the world title. It's like that's kind of like the new thing is these funny characters getting so over with the crowd Danhausen, Orange Cassidy, like yeah, I think that's like the new wave. So Dominic Mysterio is about to like Dominic is really gonna be a top superstar in the next few years, and I feel like
Yeah.
if I gave him a good theme song, man, that would push him over
Oh, that yeah, no, that is definitely dope, man.
for sure to the moon.
Yeah. So okay, hmm. Is there anybody that you worked with in the past that you didn't necessarily hate working with, but you said if man, if I have the chance to work with this guy again with this person again, I'm probably not gonna do it.
That's a good question. You know, I because I've been so limited on the people that I do work with, I really can't think that there's anybody that I could say that I wouldn't work with again. I don't think. Um, Not off the top of my head. I thankfully have been able to keep a pretty solid rapport with my list of collaborations. There was a female singer that I had worked with before that just looking back, I was like, well, this was not the best decision. I just don't like the records that we did. They're probably like my least favorite that I've done. Um, and yeah, if I had the chance to work, I'm not gonna say their names, but if I had to work with them
Oh, of
again
course not.
and I had the opportunity, I would definitely say, you know what, I'm good. I'm good on that. But God bless them. I hope they're doing well. I hope they're, yeah. God bless them.
Chances are a lot of the times we don't have to say their name. Chances are they probably know who they are.
They probably, yeah, if they hearing this and yeah, they're probably aware.
Oh man. So let me ask you, when you're yeah, a little bit of a switch up here, let me ask you, when you're DJing, do you play your own stuff to kind of get the crowd hype?
Yeah, it depends on the gig. You know, DJing has become like my a career of mine. So, I do a lot of weddings and stuff. So it really does really depend on the gig and the environment. Does it call for it? Um, uh, but I do tend to play some of my songs. Sometimes they get requested when I DJ at, local spots that people have maybe heard me perform live before, or local supporters of my music have definitely gone up and asked me to play a song of mine. Poppy Chopper is always a big one that gets a good
That
response,
is
and
that is a great
and
song.
that one, thank you, and yeah, I think that one is probably my most requested of my songs that I get. But yeah, I do like to play my songs. I feel like if I'm in an environment where it calls for it and these people might not have heard it, it's cool to see their reactions when they hear the song and they're like, "What's this? Who's that?" And they don't even know it's the guy that's playing it. I think those are some of the funniest reactions in the world. Or you get the people that don't like it and they're like, "Why don't they just take this off already?" And at least as a DJ and as an artist, like, okay, well that song might not have worked for that person. You know,
Yeah,
you win some, you lose some. Some
no,
people, not
most
everybody's
definitely.
gonna like it. So I enjoy it. I don't get a lot of the negative reactions. That's a good thing.
Nah, yeah, most definitely, man. So let's see. What's the best advice? Two-part question here. So what's the best advice that you've been given as an artist? And what advice would you give an aspiring artist?
My The best advice that I've gotten as an artist has been to slow down. Um, Slow down, because even though time is fleeting, like, you can't force stuff to happen. You can't force music or magic to be made. Everything takes its course. Um, I have a beautiful wife that is a God-fearing woman, and she preaches to me all the time. Just slow down, you know, let things take its course and let God do what he's supposed to do. God has a big part in the process of the music and the God and in the process of things being released. Sometimes you just gotta have faith, pray, and be patient. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
As far as advice that I would give to somebody else, um, vulnerability. Hello, how you doing?
that's my mom, man. It's her
How
birthday
you doing,
today.
Mama Dukes?
How are you?
Yes, happy birthday. Happy
Thank
birthday.
you.
I'm doing well. Thank you. Yes, ma'am. Good to see you.
Surprise appearance.
Amen.
You never know what's gonna happen
Yes.
on an episode of Classic Conversations. But all right, back
I
to the
love it.
question though.
I
Back to the
love it.
question.
Yes. The advice that I would give to another artist, I would say, is vulnerability. You have to be vulnerable and you have to open yourself up to,
Hey, what up,
I
Isaiah?
mean, obviously, as even as a social media content creator, you have to already make yourself vulnerable and open to getting hate in your comments, to getting love in your comments. You have to put yourself out there to the world to judge, and you got to be able to catch that judgment. So don't let things be personal. These people don't know you. These
Right.
people in your comments have never met you before. They don't know who you are. They don't even know if you got kids, if you don't got kids, if your mama loves you, if your daddy is in your life. They don't know nothing about you. So whatever they really say has nothing to do with you. It's just based on the whatever few seconds clips that they just saw, of you, and that portrayed you, that can't portray the entire person that's in that clip. So you just
Yeah.
gotta be able to let personal feelings go out of the door, be vulnerable, and be open to things, be open to constructive criticism, be open to new ideas, be open to out of the world ideas that may not have, flourished in your head. You don't think it's gonna work. Sometimes you gotta try it. You got to try new things. So I think that's my biggest advice. Just be open.
That's extremely dope, man. So last thing before last couple of things before we wind down here, man.
Yeah.
So what are three things that you're grateful for?
I am very grateful for God being in my life and um, keeping a sense of direction, because sometimes life can get very stressful. Life can get very weird, and you can hit rough spots. That's what it's about. It's the ups and the downs. But God is ever consistent and steady in my life. So very grateful for my relationship with God. Very grateful for my family, my wife, my kids, my mom, my dad, my brother, my grandfather. Very grateful for the family roots that I have, how they've always kept me contained, but always also let me know about, the history of our family, the history of our people, because that lineage is super important and needs to be expressed, and it's something that I hope to bring with this new music. As you can see, I'm wearing de lo mío, my gear. I'm wearing my, RD hat. So just trying to bring more attention to our people in the Dominican Republic. We're still out there. We're still making progress in this world and advancing as much as we can. Super grateful for those things. And number three, I'm honestly grateful for, what's the third thing I'm grateful for? I'm honestly grateful for opportunity, because without opportunity we don't get a chance to show what we have and show what we can bring to the table. Opportunities is what can bring money into your household and take money out. Like, just got to be grateful for all the opportunities that you get. Any opportunity you got in front of you, take it, try it, see what it's about, and give it your all. any opportunity I get to DJ, any opportunity I get to go. I'm so grateful for opportunity because, like I said, opportunity to go to the studio after having kids is completely different than, oh, it's Wednesday, let me go to the studio today. You know, it has to be planned. It has to be any opportunity that I get to do something like that is very valuable. So those are my three things that I'm grateful for. Grateful for my relationship with God, grateful for my family, and I'm grateful for opportunity.
Nice, nice. That pretty much sums everything up. But man, so
Yeah.
real quick, man, anything you want to plug before we get out of here?
I have so much I want to plug. Um, Go watch the Intro Alto music video on my YouTube right now. You can also go get the single on Apple Music, Spotify, Tidal, and all streaming platforms. You can go get the song right now. My album Libertad is on its way, and I will be dropping a pre-order date very soon. So just be on my Instagram looking for that. Please follow me on Instagram. Check out all my reels. Feed my family. Um, I want everybody to be on the lookout for the next music video that we have coming up very soon. I'm not going to announce the name of the song yet, but there's another music video coming very soon off the album. There's plenty of more music videos coming after that. There's more music coming after the album. Yeah, just be on the lookout. We got plenty of things happening this year. So thank you guys for the platform for me to speak and promote my products. And I appreciate you, Izzy, for letting me come up on here
Oh,
and have a
absolutely,
cool
man.
conversation with you.
Anytime, anytime, man. And I will link all of this man's socials and YouTube stuff in the description for this video, so you don't gotta go look for it. I'll do the work for you. And that is
Thank
gonna do
you.
it for this episode of Classic Conversations. Like, subscribe, share. Don't forget to hit that notification button so you don't miss a video. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.
Ya tú sabes. Perfect, brother. Thank you so much for having me on, man. I appreciate your time.
Yeah, most definitely, man.